Hey guys, well, if you've been following my videos, you've been seeing that I've done a bit of stone boiling recently. Just been, exploring that skill and stuff, and, you know, will I ever have to stone boil? No, probably not. I was talking to a friend of mine, and we were kind of laughing that those of us who explore this hobby of ours, this bushcrafting, survival, whatever, are the people that are probably never going to have to use these skills, because we've been training and we've been learning and we understand how difficult it is to do some of this stuff without your modern kit, doing a bow drill fire as opposed to carrying a lighter, these types of things. We're always going to carry a lighter. I'm always going to carry a stainless steel container. The only way I can possibly see me ever having to use some of these skills, making natural cordage, stuff like that, would be if you got in a plane wreck and you actually survived, or if you were on a cruise ship or something and swam to an island and all, I mean, these are crazy scenarios. For me, it's just super fun to learn, okay? And it gives me a great amount of confidence knowing that I can do these things when I'm in the woods. It gives me a lot of confidence and a lot of pleasure just learning this stuff. So anyway, I've been doing this stone boiling, and a lot of the water that gets created from stone boiling looks like basically 38 motor oil. Now, that's because I tend to take shortcuts, or, I'm not going to drink the water, so I don't care what it looks like. All I want to do is the end product. I want the water to boil. Then, once you get the water to boil, once you figure that technique or theory out, then you can go and refine it. You can do things differently with your rocks. You can do different things with your containers, whatever, to make the end product actually usable. So what I've done today is I'm going to do a stone boiling, and I'm going to try and do it as perfectly as I can. I'm going to drink the water after I'm done. I'm going to see if it's going to be, super horrible, or if it's going to be good. A few folks have commented on my videos and also on my posts when I post on Facebook, asking me certain questions. One of the questions right off the bat was, if you use a rock for stone boiling, can you reuse that rock, since how you've introduced moisture to that rock? I've got snow all around me. There's not a rock in my area that doesn't have moisture around it or on top of it due to my snow. So what I do is I'll light a fire. I put the stones in the absolute heart of the fire, and it's a fire that can last for a while, and then I go somewhere else for like a half hour. These rocks are gonna pop. It's gonna be kind of dangerous being next to them. I don't want anything to do with that. I'm gonna go inside, play with the dogs, whatever. I'm gonna leave this immediate fire area for about a half an hour. Another thing, a gentleman and I have been kind of going back and forth. I kind of was helping him out a little bit. Jack was helping you out a little bit with the stone boiling. You have to leave these rocks in this fire for a long time. It takes a while for them to heat up to the point to where they're actually going to be usable. You're not going to put it in the fire for 10 minutes and think you got a hot rock. It's just not going to work. You need to put them in there for a while. All right. So, I'm going to use this wooden trencher I made a while ago. And I did a combination of burning it out and also using my crook knife. So just now, I took my crook knife and kind of just got some of the charcoal, the burnt stuff out of it to try and help the end product. The folks that actually relied on these methods would have made these folks, if you're living out in the woods like this, you're continually improving your situation. So you're continually improving your container. You're continually, and I'll get my tongs here in a minute, but you're continually improving your tongs. This set of tongs I have, it's horrible. They suck really bad. I need to take some time and make some tongs. And so, anyway. All right, let me get a fire going. Let's get some rocks in there, and I'm going to show you the method I would use to make good drinking water or to cook with this stone boiling method. I also didn't realize people were gonna, or just something to, I guess I didn't realize that people were gonna go all out with that one match fire. I thought it was kind of more of what can you get away with, but anyway, that would be my fire lay if I really needed a fire. Okay, I'm going to be using a couple of modern tools. First of all, I'm going to be using these pinchers. I just don't feel like making another set of regular pinchers. Some things are a little more difficult one-handed, obviously. Basically a lot of things are more difficult, and lashing is one of them. I'm not super good at it anyway, but you know, I can do a passable job. But anyway, if I were doing this for real, I would make, let me grab them real quick. I would make 2 sets of pinchers like this, and then I would use both hands to hold on to the rock. You'd be surprised how difficult sometimes it is to grasp these rocks without modern pinchers or tongs or whatever you want to call them. I mean, it can be done, obviously, but if I had another set here, it'd be a lot better. But just for ease, I'm going to use these tongs. This pot of water, we're going to pretend is a lake or a swamp, or basically your dirty water, your water that it's your water source, okay, that you collected. So anyway, and you can't see this right now, but this water already is filthy. Anytime you go camping, set a glass of water out, and you know, don't even be next to it, or just set it next to the fire or whatever. You'll see how dirty it gets immediately. I mean, the outdoors is dirty, it's just the way it is. So before I even did anything, this has got a ton of ash in it. The wind is blowing the ash right into this container. So, you know, I mean, you're outside, stuff's gonna get dirty. Okay guys, well I kind of changed up where I was at just so that the ash wouldn't continue to blow into my thing of water here. My rocks have been cooking for a good half hour. So maybe a little too big of rocks I've got here for my container. My container's not very big, but you know, it'll do. So you get it, you kind of whack your rock off a little bit, and if I did not have a water source close by, you know, this is my half-bleeped attempt of cleaning off the rock with a crappy broom, but you know, you got a little bit of time here. Heck, it took you a half hour to warm up the rocks, you know. But if I had a lake or something close by, okay, and the only reason you wouldn't would be as if you took it with you if you were carrying your water rather than boiling it right at the source. Now, in my opinion, that water's boiling. And we tend to get a little too hung up on the fact of needing to boil this water because, you know, and there it's for sure boiling now. We tend to get a little too hung up on the fact that we need to boil this water. Pasteurization is going to occur with this no matter what. Look at it, it's just rocking and rolling right now. I'm going to see if I can do this without breaking this egg. Now, we can pull these rocks if I wasn't trying to cook this egg, but for sure I can pull at least one. That water's clear as heck. Got a little color just due to the wood. Alright. Let's cook this egg, let this water cool down, and see how it tastes. Okay, one thing I will say about using a wooden container like this is it absorbs your water pretty quick. So I started off with a lot of water, and I've got very little to show for it here. So anyway, I'm going to put my egg off to the side here, let it cool down. and go ahead and taste the water. Now, there is a bit of floaties in here. That's a piece of charcoal. That's a piece of charcoal. They've mostly sunk to the bottom. And of course, if I was hesitant to drink this water or whatever, I could totally filter it through a bandana. So anyway, let's give her a shot here. There's nothing wrong with that water. It's got a nice woody flavor to it. You know, got a little bit of grit in it. A little bit of wood. I got no problem drinking this. This tastes good. It's way better than city water. Alright. Nothing wrong with that at all. Now, let's take a look at this egg, see how she worked out for us. Let her cool down just a little bit more. Yep. Keeps my hand warm. Alright, she's a little on the soft side. I think I'm going to poach this egg in here. I didn't let her cook long enough. That's not even good enough for me, and I like my eggs kind of uncooked. Okay, well, the first egg that I cooked, I didn't cook for long enough. You know, hard-boiled eggs, you need to kind of let them, I like to let them cook for about 20 minutes or so. I was cheating, just trying to hurry up and get it done. It didn't cook, kind of came out pretty rotten. Just to say that I could do it, I'm going to do it again. Yeah, just to say I can do it. Okay, well, I've been cooking it for about 15 minutes. As you can see, I haven't been caring what the water looks like. I'm not going to drink it. All I'm doing is cooking something that's already in a nice container, this egg. I've been cooking it for about 15 minutes, and then the water started to evaporate and get real low. So I added some more water to it, and now what I'm doing is going for one last boil. And then I'm going to let it sit until it naturally cools down. It's about 9 above today, so it's, you know, the water cools down quite rapidly if I don't have rocks in here boiling. But anyway, I'm going to do this one last boil. So it's boiling right now, obviously. I'm going to do this one last boil and then let it naturally cool down, and it should be done by then. Alright, well, let's give this a whirl. Pull the old egg out. Yeah, it's cooled down by now. I'm going to wash the outside off with snow. You might ask why I didn't do that with the rocks instead of using like a pan of water, or I would have, you know, obviously used the creek or something if I had it close by. The snow will sticks to the rocks, and I mean, it melts off them and stuff. It's just not as good a cleaner offer as regular water is. Alright, I'm just going to rub this in the snow for a second. I keep taking my gloves on and off. I think we have success. Alright, just because I can. Jeez. I'm going to add a little smoked salt to the mixture here. I didn't overcook it. It's dang, that's about the best hard-boiled egg I think I've ever had. And I'm not joking either. It's like it's not, normally I overcook them, I think. Pretty hard to overcook something when it's 9 degrees out and you're stone boiling. Let's just say that method's not known for overcooking stuff. Oh man. Obviously the stone boiling didn't, it's not like it imparted a flavor or anything. It's just it's 9 degrees out and I'm cold and I'm hungry. Wow. Well guys, thanks for joining me with this. Just kind of wanted to show, sometimes I'm cutting corners just to get an end product, but in doing so you learn the ins and outs that can make your final product that much better. In other words, yeah, I see that my water is super nasty and muddy, but there's a simple way to take care of that, and you know, there you go. Alright guys, thanks for joining me on this one. Take care.